Here's a segment from the latest edition of St. Charles Parish Today, a monthly local talk show.
Albert Einstein once said, "Only a life lived for others is worth living." Well, it's no secret that the residents of St. Charles Parish are a giving people. We're a community that always seems ready to hold a blood drive for patients, supply drives for hurricane victims, fundraisers for breast cancer, and a host of other events aimed at doing better for those who may have fallen on hard times. But you may not have realized that since 1955, there's been a local group that's involved with the vast majority of events aimed at giving back in this parish. Today, I'll sit down with Melissa Frederick with the United Way of St. Charles to find out more. Thank you for coming on the show with me, Melissa.
Thank you for having me, Tristan.
All right, so just about a month ago, I attended the campaign coordinating breakfast with you guys, and it was honestly very inspiring. Could you give people a synopsis who might not have attended of what happened at that breakfast?
Absolutely. So each year before our fall fundraising campaign, we hold a training breakfast for the individuals who will be helping with their United Way campaign at their companies. Those individuals are called campaign coordinators, and we really believe in educating those folks. If we're going to ask them to do a job, we have to let them know kind of what they'll be doing. So we bring everyone together for the breakfast, and we not only premiere our new marketing pieces and promotional pieces, but we also we get to share our brand new campaign video, which is something that we put out each year. And I think one of the most important parts about that breakfast also is kind of the networking that the campaign coordinators get to do with each other. The different companies get to come together and talk about what works well at their company, maybe do some kind of best practices and go through some of the challenges that they may be facing at their company and pick each other's brains a little bit and kind of, figure out what works well.
See each other's ideas, really.
Absolutely.
Why
Reinvent the wheel, if someone else has already figured it out, then, kind of share that. And this year, as you mentioned, we were fortunate enough to host our breakfast at the Sheriff's Office Training Center in Luling. So we really appreciate the sheriff and his team for showing us the hospitality there, and thank them for that. Also, we about a month later did a training with the school system. So we do kind of a private breakfast with the school system. Each school has a coordinator.
Oh wow! Yeah, well that makes sense.
Yeah, and so we had a training with them, I guess back in September, and kind of focused that one a little bit more on youth services and the things that are available to the children of St. Charles Parish.
And you know what I thought was really touching at the breakfast? You guys actually had some of the people who benefited from United Way funding, the Guichard twins,
yeah.
And who else? It was. That was really them, and you had them talking
with
about
their
the summer
mom.
camp.
Mm-hmm.
But they were talking about the summer camp
Yeah.
that United Way funds. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, part of that is most of the people in that room already believe in United Way and what we do, but I think it's always nice to be able to kind of inspire people, and who
There's
better,
something tangible,
Yeah, who better to inspire than an actual service recipient? It kind of helps us remember that behind every donation is a real person.
Right, right. Okay, well, at that breakfast, because I'm going to ask more questions about that, the executive director of United Way, John, mentioned that all United Ways are local. I think he might have even started the presentation with that all United Ways are local. What is the significance of that?
The fact that all United Ways are local is actually my favorite thing about our organization, that we are a local, independent 501c3 nonprofit. As a person who was born and raised in Norco and attended the St. Charles Parish public school system my whole life, it's really important to me that all of our resources stay right here in the parish. We do share a logo with other United Ways, but truly that's where the similarities end. We are not financially or administratively related to any other United Way anywhere. And I think what a lot of people don't realize that. They see the logo and they envision kind of this big, huge kind of national or even international organization. And luckily,
money's kind of just trickling to
right,
everywhere.
And you wonder, where is it going? Does it go off to some headquarters somewhere? No, the best thing, like I said, about our organization is that every dollar that we raise here in St. Charles Parish stays right here in St. Charles Parish.
And honestly, I think that's one of the best things as well about United Way. So, so a great many deeds in this parish, or it seems like a great many deeds in this parish, can kind of be tied to United Way. You guys don't have a very large staff. How is it that you manage to be involved with so many things?
Well, thank you for saying that. We appreciate that. We work really hard, so it's always nice to hear, that others see our work out there. Our staff of 5, we do wear a lot of different hats, and we kind of, multitask throughout the year to get the job done. But truly, the success of our organization is because of our volunteers. We are a volunteer-based organization, and really none of what we do would be possible without those individuals. Our board of directors, our committee members, our special event volunteers, and community members who just kind of step up and help United Way. We wouldn't be able to do it without them, and so they really are the reason for our success in the community.
And so when you guys have a need, you just call up and say, hey, I need volunteers, and they just show up?
We do have kind of a database of volunteers, people who have contacted us throughout the years who want to volunteer. And then always our board members, our committee members, kind of our friends of United Way, people who work with us kind of on an ongoing basis. We always have people willing, ready to just jump right in and help. It's amazing, really, how much people want to just help and step up for the community.
So you guys have a very long list of partner agencies.
Yes.
Because we saw it at the breakfast. What does it mean to be a partner agency of United Way? Because it's not just a handshake agreement, and you guys kind of went into that at the breakfast.
Right. We have currently 30 partner agencies, and that changes each year just based on who is approved that year. But it is a very extensive process, honestly, to be considered a United Way agency. We want to align ourselves with other organizations whose missions are similar to ours, and we hold them to the same standard we hold ourselves. And so those organizations that are partner agencies truly are scrutinized very closely by our volunteers who meet annually to review their requests. So kind of the way that it works is if an organization would like to receive funding from United Way as a partner agency, they submit a request in the spring, and excuse me, part of that request is they turn in their financial audits, their 990s, lots of
Financial documents.
really important documents. And we look at all of that. We actually have an independent bank that looks at all of that as well. And our volunteers go to meet with them. They meet with their board of directors. They interview them. They look at the request as a whole and kind of decide, one, if it meets our mission and what we're trying to do, and then two, is this a good use of donor dollars? At the end of the day, we're there to protect donor dollars and, just to make sure that those dollars are being put to good use. And so kind of the second part of that is if that group of volunteers decides, hey, we like what they're doing, we feel good about this, we want to grant them funds. Mm-hmm. They don't just get a one-time check at the beginning of the year. If that group says, we want to give this organization $10,000, those checks are broken up into bi-monthly payments. So an organization would get their first check, and then 2 months later they have to submit reporting to us on exactly where every dollar went and how those dollars were used to benefit St. Charles Parish residents before the next check would be.
And fulfill that mission.
Absolutely. So before they even get their next check, they have to submit the reporting, and that's 6 times a year. Really a lot of checks and balances, and just trying to protect the donor dollars.
Aside from partnering with so many of these organizations to host events and do things, you guys actually host quite a few events of your own, the staff of 5, at least you organize it. So what are those events? Because I think some of them are really well known. People might not know that United Way is the one that benefits from it.
Right, so our largest fundraiser is actually our campaign. But in addition to our campaign, we have 2 special event fundraisers. The first one is the Bridge Run, which is a 5K, 10K run walk across the Hale Boggs Bridge from Destrehan to Luling, Bridge Park to Bridge Park. That's typically held in the spring, and it's a really fun kind of family event that gets St. Charles Parish residents moving. We are going into our 22nd year for that event, and it will be held on Saturday, April the 14th, 2018. So still a little ways to go there.
There you go, there's a plug.
check it out next year. Our other really big and my favorite special event is our United Way campaign celebration Battle for the Paddle. It's in October, and it is, I think, the largest single day event in St. Charles Parish. We get about 10,000 people out there to this year. It'll actually be in a new location, the Dufresne Community Center, and it's a jambalaya gumbo cook-off. What started off with 10 guys from the local industry out there trying to raise awareness for United Way has turned into 150 plus teams.
And it's like a fight to get a team out there. I know the spaces go quick.
Absolutely. We, I think we're pretty maxed out right now. Actually, we're on the phone yesterday calling people, seeing if they were renewing their spots because there's a waiting list for teams to come in. But it's a really great event. $5 gets you in the gate, and then it's unlimited sampling of jambalaya and gumbo from there. Kids get in free, and this year we have the Molly Ringwalds as our live entertainment.
And so, and all the funding from those events goes right into the, okay, good.
Absolutely, yes.
If someone wants to get involved with United Way as just an individual, or maybe as an organization, how do they just start that process?
Sure. So the easiest thing really is to just go to our website, and there is a volunteer form where you can fill it out with your name, contact information, and then what type of specific volunteering you're looking to do. Some people may be interested in joining a committee or being part of that review process that I mentioned earlier, whereas others may want kind of more hands-on type stuff. Volunteering with our partner agencies.
Because it's not all about just donating money or time. It could be
Absolutely.
money or time or whichever you...
There are so many ways you can get involved with United Way. You know, if you're a business owner and you would like to start a campaign, that's absolutely something that we can do for you. But if you want to donate your time, you know, that's great too. And we have a lot of opportunities through our special events, our partner agencies, and just things that go on throughout the year.
They'll put you on that log of volunteers.
Yes, yes, we will call you.
Okay, so you guys also film a monthly show here at the Science Center. Where can residents find that?
Sure, so we actually, our show airs on Channel 6, SCP TV, weekdays at 3:30 in the afternoon. We are also on Channel 8, the school board channel, and then you can catch it on our website, uasc.org.
And just a little bit more about the show. What types of guests do you have? Is it the agencies that partner?
Sometimes. Similar to this show, we have usually 2 to 3 guests, and it can be anyone from a partner agency to a volunteer spotlight, maybe someone who's helped us out, or if we have a special event. I think last month we had Tamara, our event coordinator, come talk about Battle for the Paddle. So just really whatever's going on with United Way at that time.
And so
we try to highlight it.
It's a good way for people to kind of stay up to date, or if you donate to the program, kind of seeing some of those people's faces.
Exactly. Something that we kind of struggled with was we didn't want to just come in front of people once a year asking for donations.
Right.
We wanted to let people know we're here all year working with those donations. And so the talk show is a really great way for us to kind of keep in touch with the community and let them know exactly where their donations are going on an ongoing basis.
Awesome. Well, if you have anything else, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Look for the entire episode at www.scptoday.com or on SCP TV.